Coming up on this special edition of Fulton Today, the year in review. County taxpayers rejoiced after learning they would not receive multiple tax bills this year. From a new branding campaign to the reopening of multiple libraries, 2019 was a year of new beginnings for Fulton County.
To all of you who were constituents and friends and the beloved of Commissioner Emma Ione Darnell.
This year was also the end of an era as county leaders and residents said their final goodbyes to one of Fulton's longest serving commissioners. And residents looking for a second chance to get their lives back on track received some much needed help from Fulton's Justice Partners. These stories, and of course, a look at senior services, the future of the Fulton County Airport, and the announcement about a new animal shelter on this special Year in Review edition of Fulton Today. Welcome to this special edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis, and happy holidays. Fulton leaders are touting a number of successes in 2019 for the county government, from a Department of Revenue settlement that ensured county taxpayers would not receive additional property tax bills to an overhaul of Fulton's water and sewer system. The top CEO says there's much to celebrate. The Fulton County Manager, Dick Anderson, is with us to lead this special show off. Sir, welcome to Fulton Today.
Thank you, Shania. Glad to be here.
And let's start on those taxes. Talk about the importance of the Department of Revenue settlement and what it means for taxpayers going forward.
Well, the Department of Revenue settlement was perhaps one of the most significant legal settlements in the history of the county. And what it did was it gave certainty to all taxpayers that they would not be rebilled or have their taxes raised subsequently based on decisions that we made a couple of years ago. And that, in the end, treated them fairly, gave us a predictable path forward, and removed any further uncertainty. So it truly was a win-win all across the board.
And Dick, can you talk to us about the latest on the expansion of the Little River and the Big Creek water reclamation facilities and how that's benefiting residents?
Well, as you know, one of our primary services is public works and specifically wastewater treatment. And while it may sound like a boring public utility, it really leads to economic development. So in that particular case, the expansion of Little River and Big Creek, if not done, would halt economic development in North Fulton. And so those two projects alone are some of the biggest projects we have ever undertaken in public works, and they're now well underway. So the good news in all of that is it leads to economic development. Of course, in the short term, it treats the wastewater that we're producing. But likewise, we have now entered into a study of all of our South Fulton wastewater capacity. And we anticipate by the middle of this year to have a perspective, middle of 2020, to have a perspective on those needs for the next 20 to 30 years and a capital program to meet those needs. So in a like manner, both in North and South Fulton, we'll have significant wastewater capacity and again, leading to economic development in the future.
And of course, we've got to remind viewers about the Fulton County Airport Master Plan.
Well, one of the things I'm most excited about is the airport. And I'm glad you asked Fulton County Airport because we really want to emphasize Fulton County Airport as opposed to Charlie Brown. Because some people think of it as just a small little airport. Fact of the matter is it's one of the largest regional airports, the only one that has 24/7 FAA tower capability, and soon to be, over the next planning period, an expanded runway, probably a business park at its entrance, as well as other amenities. I believe that the airport will serve us well, not only as Fulton County, but the entire region. And the investment potential there being contemplated, of course, supported by ultimately GDOT and FAA funding, will be over $100 million. So you can imagine the scope of what we're talking about. And again, the asset that will be enhanced with that kind of investment. So I'm really excited about that process getting off the ground, no pun intended, and leading to, again, significant economic development for that whole area as well as our region.
And this is a big deal for you. Fulton County's image was revamped this year. What were your thoughts about Fulton's new logo and the website?
Well, of course, I love the concept of our new logo and our website as well. So I'm standing here at the service desk as you enter 141 Pryor. We've already had thousands of citizens stop here and ask for directions and ask for help. We also, though, with our new logo, are really signaling through our new website as well as where our logo appears, a completely new customer-friendly attitude. And that attitude is manifesting itself with every one of our employees taking an opportunity when they interact with a citizen to treat them as a customer, and that is a distinct difference. And it's one that we now measure ourselves on, and I think by meeting our customer satisfaction targets, in fact exceeding it this year, 83% saying they're either satisfied or highly satisfied, we're demonstrating that our new logo is more than just a logo, it's reality. And as our citizens indicate more and more, and every department now has a customer satisfaction metric as well as that overall metric, that we're meeting citizen expectations as customers, I think we can feel very good about that logo signaling a new future for Fulton County.
County Manager Dick Anderson, always great information. Congratulations on a great year and best of luck in 2020.
Well, thank you.
Fulton commissioners made a major investment in the county's justice system in 2019, from increasing its law enforcement presence to decreasing the days nonviolent offenders remained locked up. There were significant firsts for justice partners. Daryl Carver takes a look.
When the year started at Fulton County's Lewis-Slayton Courthouse, Fulton's justice partners were on a mission to not only ensure that justice was administered fairly and swiftly, but also to reduce Fulton's recidivism rate and get low-level first-time offenders the mental health help that they needed. Fulton's magistrate and state court mental health court program brought new opportunities for one-time defendants.
It means a lot of things, like I'm happy my record is clean now, so now I could just do better and explore many things in life without it being a bargain on me and a restraint on me. So I'm just happy for the program, and I thank the program so much.
Meanwhile, Fulton's solicitor offered a chance to those hindered by a previous arrest. The record restrictions events helped residents who had a misdemeanor arrest without a conviction. The district attorney's office launched a new program to rehabilitate young repeat offenders. DA Paul Howard Jr. spoke to us about Project Level Up before announcing who on his team would head up the program.
Project Level Up is designed to provide substantial intervention to those juveniles who've already been arrested 3 or more times.
The DA also saw his biggest class ever for the Junior DA program and welcomed the first ever person with autism to serve on a Fulton County grand jury. Meanwhile, in 2019, the Sheriff's Office received an unprecedented financial boost to help inmates successfully re-enter society. The over $1 million grant will provide critical funding for the nationally recognized Smart Reentry program started by Sheriff Ted Jackson in 2016. Fulton's juvenile court judges finalized a record 18 adoptions on National Adoption Day, the final yearly event for retiring longtime Judge Bradley Boyd. Another juvenile court judge also hung up his robe, the Honorable George Blau, retired after serving in the justice community for over 40 years. And Fulton says farewell to its 30-plus year lawman, Marshal Antonio Johnson. As the year comes to an end, justice partners are eager to start a new chapter at the courthouse, even as the iconic building is being renovated, another milestone marked in 2019. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Daryl Carver.
All right, thank you very much, Daryl. Well, in the final quarter of the year, animal activists and community members rejoiced when hearing the announcement about a new animal shelter. After months of conversations with the public to determine the needs of a new shelter, Fulton commissioners unanimously agreed to build a $32.5 million facility near the Fulton County Airport. After the vote was passed, Fulton's Deputy Chief Operating Officer for Public Safety witnessed residents crying tears of joy.
And the motion passes unanimously.
Well, it certainly was emotional for the animal advocates, and in some cases, everyone who has a pet in Fulton County. And the reason it was emotional is that the current facility is in such bad shape that individuals that have been there really realized that we needed to have something done. And the prospect of having a new facility that would be more welcoming not only to the pets but to visitors is something that I think touched people in a very unique way.
Age and overcrowding are the biggest reasons for a new animal shelter, as the current shelter is over 40 years old and was built to house no more than 120 animals. According to Lifeline Animal Project representatives, the organization that manages the shelters in Fulton and DeKalb, they receive nearly 30 animals a day. Seeking public input on a new shelter made residents feel like a part of the process.
I adopted a dog from Fulton County Animal Services, so it holds a special place in my heart. And I think that as a world-class city, we should have a shelter that we're proud of.
I'm really excited that Fulton County is working on this, and I'm really excited to see kind of the fruits of this project. Can't wait till they have a new facility.
That new shelter, by the way, will open in 2021. Well, 2019 was also a year of remembrance as Fulton commissioners joined with county and city officials in saying farewell to the Dean of the Board of Commissioners, Emma I. Darnell. The longtime commissioner passed away in May after nearly 30 years in office. Commissioners, colleagues, and her staff took turns sharing their favorite Commissioner Darnell stories during her funeral at Jackson Memorial Baptist Church and a memorial service inside of Assembly Hall.
A lot of folks that don't know her well don't know how really funny, what a terrific, wicked sense of humor this woman had.
One thing that I will never forget is that she said, "Commissioner Hall, I love how when I look over and I see you pull that microphone down, and child, you say, 'Excuse me.'"
We will now have to keep those promises on your behalf. We will now have to go miles before we sleep. We will now take that baton and go miles before we sleep.
The loss of Commissioner Darnell meant the county's Board of Registration and Elections had to conduct a special election to fill her unexpired term. 9 candidates vied to become the next District 6 commissioner, but it was former College Park City Council member Joe Karn who was chosen by the voters. And still to come, Fulton County Commissioners extend holiday greetings to you and your family. It's a special district-by-district coverage next. Welcome back to this special edition of Fulton Today. Fulton Commissioners extend warm greetings in this holiday version of our district-by-district coverage.
That time of year again when it's my privilege, my pleasure to wish each of you a Merry Christmas. We've had a very productive year here at Fulton County. I'm excited about what we've accomplished this year, but even more excited about what's going to be before us in 2020. So again, hope that each of you will have a very happy, merry, enjoyable Christmas and be safe this Christmas season.
I'm Commissioner Liz Houseman, and I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a safe and happy holiday season and New Year.
Economically, the county is doing great and is thriving, and we hope that, and I certainly hope that you and your family are thriving and have an excellent New Year and a very Merry Christmas.
I want to take this opportunity to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and the happiest of New Years. May 2020 be your best year ever.
I would like to wish you and your family happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas. It has been an awesome year to serve you as your District 4 Commissioner, and I look forward to continuing to serve you and your family in the new year.
I'd like to take this time to wish you and your family a happy and joyous holiday season. Please stay warm, be healthy, and enjoy your holiday time with family and friends.
In this time of warmth and celebration over the holidays, let us remember those who have to do without. There are many out struggling and trying to make it day to day. So as we live, work, and worship in Fulton County, let us remember the least of these in our communities as well. May you have a blessed and prosperous holiday season and a happy New Year.
Thank you, Commissioners, and season's greetings to you all. Still to come, a look back at how Fulton's Board of Health team addressed the vaping crisis and opioid addiction, and how seniors services kept their constituents busy and active. A look back when Fulton Today returns. A busy year for the county's Board of Health included increased funding for the Fulton's fight against HIV, increased awareness about the vaping crisis, and more treatment options for those addicted to opioids. FGTV's Melissa Lewis takes a look back.
As soon as the year began, Fulton's HIV/AIDS Prevention, Care, and Policy Advisory Committee came together to tackle the issue once again of ending the epidemic in the county.
If we really focus down, if we have strong leadership from Chairman Pitts, from the other boards of commissioners, if we have strong community engagement, we can make this happen. There are other cities that 2 or 3 years ago looked similar to what we look like right now in Fulton County. But they developed a strategy, they committed to it, they're constantly evaluating it, monitoring it, and changing it as they need to, and they're now starting to see dramatic reductions.
This goal drove Fulton's health team and its partners to get as many people as possible tested all year long, with multiple outreach efforts, and if possible, the team offered treatment options.
Everyone is under the impression, as they should be, that HIV is something that we can defeat, and it all starts with just us knowing our status.
In 2019, Fulton established the Department of HIV Elimination, formerly known as the Ryan White Office. Fulton's chairman brokered an official partnership between the Elton John AIDS Foundation and Fulton County government to end the epidemic. And on World AIDS Day, religious leaders from around the metro joined in on the fight. Also this year, Fulton's Behavioral Health and Board of Health departments were awarded a $2.5 million federal grant to serve minority men with HIV and those at high risk. Meanwhile, Fulton's Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities hosted an open house in North Fulton to reveal news about the expansion of its behavioral health services by contract providers Chris 180 and Summit Counseling.
They've taken a daycare and transitioned it into a group and individual therapy space for individuals that are in need of substance use disorder treatment.
Fulton commissioners tackled another health concern head-on by approving a resolution limiting the sales and distribution of vaping products and other synthetic opioids, and sharing the news at community forums.
There is a plethora of actual options for service and opportunities for people to get help. But on the flip side of that, they're not necessarily widely known, and they're not necessarily always the best coordinated. And forums like this that can begin to surface and bring out all of those opportunities that do exist in our communities, so people that are aware of them, where they can go to get help, and begin to also communicate that to others that need help.
In all, in 2019, the county provided education and assistance for various health issues, from substance abuse to sexually transmitted diseases. And its teams are ready to continue with the services in the new year. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
Thank you, Melissa. Meanwhile, county commissioners allocated an increase in funding for senior services in the 2019 budget. The county manager appointed new leadership over the department, and the county said farewell to one of its staunchest senior advocates. Here's a look at senior services this year. 2019 began in the Senior Services Department with the naming of a new director. After 2 decades of successful leadership with the county, Ladisa Onilagu was appointed to head the team. And thanks to Fulton commissioners, there was more to work with as an increase in funding for senior services was approved in the 2019 budget. $3.4 million was approved, with an additional $2 million for facility upgrades. Meanwhile, programming at the centers remained constant all year long.
Awesome. See? Awesome.
During the first quarter of the year at the Bowden Senior Center, this group was the first set of Fulton seniors to try a brand new app designed specifically with their population in mind, the modernized Medicare app.
So this app is actually our way of coming into the 21st century in many ways, and meeting seniors where they're at. We understand that a growing number of seniors are actually very tech savvy, do a lot with their smartphones, and they want an easy and simple way to look up anything about Medicare and how it benefits them.
Fulton's Senior Services team then partnered with Project Open Hand to feed dozens of seniors for half the year. This group heard about it at the Mills Senior Multipurpose Facility.
We typically are coming here helping with a program called Feeding the Desert, trying to make sure they have good nutrition knowledge every single month.
With thunderous applause, these Fulton County seniors at the QLS Senior Center showed their appreciation for a gift few of them knew was coming. The generous offering from Comcast NBC Universal of free laptops for every senior came with a lesson and a warning about internet safety.
We all recognize that so many things happen on the internet today, and there's so many benefits on the internet, but we got to also be aware of the risks.
Meanwhile, back again this year was the Senior Summit, where one of the county's fastest growing demographics shared with leaders how they felt about the level of services offered to seniors. And this year, leadership added a new twist.
Live streamed on the Fulton County Facebook page, first time that we've ever been able to use that technology, which increased our access to not just our participants in four walls, but everyone throughout Fulton County.
Seniors enjoyed everything from athletic competitions to health fairs and fellowships. They even honored their peers for their service and remembered their friends who have passed away, including the namesake of one North Fulton senior facility, Miss Dorothy C. Benson. And as the year is wrapping up, the seniors are still engaged as they look forward to 2020 and the programs and services to come. And still to come on this special edition of Fulton Today, we highlight the accomplishments of our libraries and film divisions and celebrate 40 years of arts and culture. Stay with us. In our final segment of this special edition of Fulton Today, a look back at the county's film division, library programs, and arts. First, Fulton's film business saw an uptick in both productions and projects in 2019. The office was well represented during this year's Film Day at the state capitol. The annual event, hosted by the State of Georgia's Film Office, was created to remind officials about the state's thriving film industry. The Fulton Films crew and Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. attended the American Black Film Festival with the goal of inviting premier industry professionals to do business with the county. The team also sponsored the 5th annual American Youth Film Festival Awards ceremony and the Bronze Lens Festival. Fulton commissioners celebrated the 10th milestone for the Bronze Lens team. Fulton Films also kicked off its Silver Screen Ambassador Initiative with an information session about the Volunteer Senior Program.
Oh, it's just so exciting. It's so me. I consider myself to be a gracious hostess. I love being friendly to people. I love having quality information and share that information. That's part of my customer service background. It just thrills me to no end.
It looks exciting, something to do as a volunteer. I love films, movies, and to be a part of welcoming people to our beautiful city. I'm going to enjoy that. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
The inaugural FAM Tour was a success in conjunction with the Location Managers Guild International, known as a familiarization tour. The event, kicked off by Fulton Commissioner Liz Hausman and attended by other city film liaisons, gave film professionals an up-close look at some of the county's facilities and assets for use in upcoming movie productions.
I think this was a perfect opportunity to showcase what Fulton County has to offer for the location managers so that they can broaden their scope when looking for locations.
The FAM Tour will return in 2020.
1, 2,
Meanwhile, there were a number of ribbon-cutting ceremonies to celebrate the grand reopenings of county libraries that were all closed for renovations. The Dogwood, East Point, Fairburn, Sandy Springs, and Washington Park libraries were among the long list of libraries that are open once again.
Libraries, again, are important. In spite of technology, in spite of IT, in spite of telephones and cell phones and web pages and all of that stuff, a library is still important.
The Southwest Library was renamed the Evelyn G. Lowry at Southwest, and library leaders also announced that the Ponce Library will be renamed after the late Commissioner Joan P. Garner. All library renovations will be complete once the Central Library reopens in June of next year.
It's quite an undertaking, so 23 libraries being renovated in the span of 2 years is a challenge. And there are, with that kind of work and construction work as can be expected, there have been delays and there have been changes, and we've just tried to keep moving.
To accommodate patrons without their local libraries, the library's outreach staff increased its bookmobile presence in the community. And with the official unveiling of the library's 2 new innovation stations, bringing the library to citizens in a more convenient than ever way. And the Arts and Culture Department celebrated a major milestone in 2019. The department celebrated its 40th birthday. County commissioners kicked off the monumental occasion by presenting a proclamation to arts and culture staff during the October regular Board of Commissioners meeting.
We're very excited to be acknowledging 40 years of arts and culture in Fulton County. We have a robust number of activities that we will be providing throughout the county, free to our residents and to the public, and we're very excited about all the things that we've been able to accomplish over the 40 years and the legacy that Fulton County has established.
And to celebrate 40 years of arts and culture, the department staff hosted an exhibition featuring only emerging artists at the 34 Peachtree Gallery. Another gallery featuring the families of Fulton by longtime photographer Tom Dorsey was on display at the Southwest Art Center. The exhibit, called Pride, Dignity, and Togetherness, the legacy of Tom Dorsey, featured family photos of prominent African-American families from Fulton County like the Aarons, the Youngs, the Dorseys, the Jacksons, and Arringtons, just to name a few.
The black family in America was not something that whites in general had a good sense of, and they had not been in our homes. And so I wanted to present what most of them had never seen.
The Fulton County Board of Commissioners established the Fulton County Arts Council to enhance the quality of life for Fulton County residents back in 1979. And as we wrap up this special edition of Fulton Today, we still invite you to connect with us online. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. You can also watch a replay of this show or any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe. Well, that does it for this special holiday edition of Fulton Today. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County. Happy holidays, everybody.